Hey everyone, hope you are doing well. Coming on this afternoon to share with you a trade that I did in the black room, that I called in the black room, but also to go over one of my favorite patterns of all time. Actually, it's the favorite day trading pattern of all time. I call it the bleed pattern because the stock bleeds sideways into a rising or a declining 20 MA. Let me show you the trade and then we can go over the pattern in more detail. The trade was JBT and the stock was JBT and this is the trade. Isn't it a beauty? So the stock runs up, puts in a sell setup. I passed. You want to pass on the first sell setup. Why? Because the stock, in this case, retraced more than 100% of the initial sell-off, far away from the 20. But if the stock bleeds sideways into the declining 20, then you can actually short it under the base. You don't need to wait for the stock to break everything in the base, just the last 1/3. So short under 92.85, stop just above it, 93 something. This was called in the black room, so 92.85 by 93.80, about a dollar stop. Short, and then the stock was trailed to 90.20, target one, half, and then at the end of the day at $90, the back half. So that's the pattern. Now, unfortunately, on this stock, on this trade in particular, it was on an uptick. When the stock drops 10% or more on any given day, it goes on an uptick. And so I couldn't get filled much on it when it triggered. And I didn't chase it. I was actually too busy with other things that I didn't try to get filled more, but I only got filled a little bit. It still made okay money, but should have made a lot more, and that's the JBT today. 563. Again, should have made probably $1,500 because it was about a 3R play, meaning 3 risk units. But that's the pattern. It's again one of my favorite, if not the favorite, day trading pattern of all time. I have wanted to show you some recent trades also that are that are basically the same pattern. I reviewed the trades from the last few days, and these are the trades. So LKQ, ANDX, TRVG, and VLRS. So LKQ was on the 26th. Okay, I like to do it in the afternoon. I trade the 15-minute chart in the afternoons because it's not too large of a time frame like the 60-minute where almost nothing happens, and then it's not so small like the 1 and the 2 or even the 5 where you can get sucked in easily. So this is the LKQ. This was actually called not by me but by another moderator in the room who's just a rising superstar. His name is Ryan, and he's just an incredible trader. So the short under the base, notice the breakout failure, stop above it. Beautiful. It didn't drop a lot. I mean, it dropped okay, but I don't think what day was this? On the 26th. I don't think I made much money on it for some reason. This is the 26th. LKQ. I don't know why. I probably didn't size it correct or I didn't get filled. I don't honestly remember. But that's the LKQ. The next one on the list is the ANDX. Let me get this out of the way. This was yesterday, and I think it was yesterday, and I called it in the black room also. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. It was the day before. So short. Notice the stock. So here's the initial sell setup. It's not an ideal pattern, but it bled sideways into the declining 20 and short. What was good about it were the topping tails. What does that tell you? It tells you that traders got caught. They bought it and the stock immediately got sold. So that's further confirmation that the stock was lower. So this was a short and then out at the lows, basically at $42. And this was from the 30th, so April 30th. ANDX, April 30th. 2 Rs, almost, 2 risk units, 918. The next one on the list was the TRVG. This was also called in the black room. I think it was a low of the day base breakdown, but the same idea. Stock goes sideways, bleeds into the declining 20, and then a short. I mean, what a beauty. This is a bad tick. The stock didn't rally $1. It certainly didn't. This was a bad tick, and then it just sold off into the close. This was from the 25th. Wow, that's a while back. Last week, I guess. Where is it? Did I open it? Yeah, TRVG, $1,500. That's pretty good. Next one on the list is VLRS. These are just, again, from the last, let's say, this week. Today is Wednesday, so this week and last week. VLRS. VLRS, oh, there it is. It's the same, exact same thing as the TRVG. Exact same thing. Stock sells off, rallies a little bit, and then bleeds sideways into the declining 20, and then breaks down. And this was on the 20th. So on the 20th, is that right? No. Oh yeah, there it is. VLRS on the 20th. Is that right? And then the 23rd. Did it have anything on the 23rd? The 23rd was also pretty good, but I think I had another trade on it on the 23rd. Let's see, 23rd VLRS, 3K. That's pretty good. But there was no bleed pattern on the VLRS, so I traded it this day and the next day. Now, I've created a PDF document to show you that basically describes the pattern in more detail. So this is a stock that has recovered by going sideways after a rapid rally in the morning, which resulted in a deep retracement. The healing process is complete. What healing process are we talking about? The healing process of the fact that the stock pulled back, put in a deep pullback. When the stock puts in a deep pullback, it traps a lot of people. Think about the people that bought it here, right? Or there, or at the top, or down here, or up there, right? Everybody that bought it there and didn't exit is now underwater. So when the stock pops, it usually fails because they start to exit and then it rolls over, people start taking their money and it fails. Now, the bleed pattern dictates, or what you want to do is you want to pass on the first entry. It's also extended away from the 20. The correct entry is always at or near the rising 20 period moving average. You want to pass on the first entry. If it doesn't fail, if it goes sideways and bases into the rising 20, then you want to play the breakout, right? So that's the idea behind it. Let me clear I got all these dots. So okay, now they're gone. So the healing process is complete and a breakout play can be taken once the rising 20 MA catches up with price. The entry combines a 2-minute breakout or trend change inside of a larger buy setup pattern, or what's known as a PBS. All right, so that's the picture. Here's some patterns. It doesn't have to be on the 15-minute chart. Any time frame. The methodology that we teach applies to any and every time frame. So whichever time frame you find the pattern on is good. This was a deep pullback, about a $2 pullback. Notice the double top, the really bearish topping tail there. So you don't want to do the first buy setup. In fact, if you did, you probably got stopped out here, or you would have gotten shaken out in this bottoming tail. But look at the breakout. What a beauty. Beautiful, isn't it? Same here. Rally and a sell setup. These often fail. Not at the 20. You want to pass. But what happens if the stock goes sideways? Then what happens is you get a really nice tight stop. Short under the base, stop above it. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So same idea here. This is what's known as a breakout failure, or as we call it at T3, a bake and shake, right? and then a breakdown. What a beauty. We're talking about a $2 drop, by the way, 16.50. It's more than $2. Same here. This was okay to do because here at the top, because of the battle bar, that narrow body bar. This bar indicates that buyers and sellers had a real fight. So when you break under the low of this kind of a bar, oftentimes it leads to lower prices. Look, notice that the stock was gapping, and we have declining moving average above. It's far away from it, but this was probably okay to do. Short right here, stop right there. Very low price stock, $4, and notice the 1 penny base. Bam, right? Beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, continuing on, more of the same. You want to pass on the first entry, comes in, goes sideways into the declining 20, and then drops. Same exact thing, almost. Breakout failure there. And then a base right under the declining 20. Notice how tight it is. The tighter the base, the tighter the stop. This was beautiful, but it also had a 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So, and then look at the drop, right? Beautiful. The first setup, the first sell setup right here was tough. I mean, that's not a high quality sell setup, okay? Coming after 2 solid green bars. Usually they fail. If they don't, and they set up as a bleed pattern, that's when you strike. That's when you take it. More of the same. I mean, I have taken hundreds and hundreds of this same setup. Notice the breakout failure right there. Just absolutely beautiful. So I've named this pattern the bleed because, again, it bleeds sideways into the declining 20. Notice the battle bar right here. So pretty good. And then there's a lot more. So I'm just showing you some of the plays, long and short. It's not just short, but I like to short more than play long because things fall a lot faster than they go up typically. Unfortunately, there is that awful uptick rule where if the stock is down more than 10% or more, it goes on an uptick for 2 days. And in the mornings, I don't have a problem with the uptick. It's only in the afternoons that sometimes I struggle to get filled. For example, today so I showed you about 20 or 25. That should do it. This morning I had the SNAP short called also in the room at the open. It barely dropped, and because I can get filled in the morning easily, 4K. I did re-short later on the base breakdown, but it really didn't go. So most of it came in the morning on that initial drop. But that was the snap. So overall, a nice day today. This is earnings season, so this is when you should make the money. Going back to the bleed pattern, now that you've learned the pattern, there's only one thing that you still need to know or to do, and that is you need to know how to find these stocks. If you're in the black room, for example, in the trading room, then there shouldn't be a problem because we find them for you. But if you're not, then you'll probably have to use a scanning software and create a scan for the pattern, which is probably a bit difficult, and but it's not undoable. I mean, meaning it is doable, and that's the pattern from and that's the trade from today. JBT. All right, guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and talk to you soon. Have a great evening, everyone.